Hello everybody! In this video I'm going to talk about the Komi language. And I'll divide the video into two parts. In the first part I'm going to give you a brief information about this language, because I imagine not many people know this language. And in the second part I'm going to explain you my personal story related to this language. Let's start! So, part number 1. General information about this language. The Komi language is a Finno-Ugric language from a Uralic language family. Okay, if we come back to the Finno-Ugric scheme of languages, for you to understand the position of the Komi language within the scheme, you will see that it belongs to the Permic branch. And yes, it's a different branch from Finnish, Estonian and Hungarian. That's why, although these languages belong to the same language family, well, actually, if you speak Komi, you won't understand Finnish or Estonian or Hungarian. But these languages have a lot of similarities in grammar and in some vocabulary. What's exciting about the Komi language is its writing system, because it has changed so many times. Right now, for you to know, they use the Cyrillic script. But initially, in the 14th century, the first writing system, the Old Permic script, was invented by the missionary Stepan Khrap. And actually, this script looks really cool. Unfortunately, right now, you can find this script only in some icons and old documents, but very few of them. And I've actually read recently that now there is a sort of movement, well, questioning at least, in the Komi Republic to retake again this old Permic script, because, well, first it's the initial script, so it belongs to the language, and second, wow, it just looks cool. I'd like to learn it. But I must say that this Old Permic script has some similarity with Greek and Cyrillic, but, well, actually it's quite different anyway. So this first writing system was used for several centuries, until in the 16th century it was replaced by the Russian alphabet. Then, in 1920, there was invented a new alphabet for the Komi language called Molodtsov alphabet, and it was based on the Cyrillic alphabet, and it had some new weird letters. But it didn't last. In 1930s, they switched back to Latin, and then in 1940s, they switched back to the Russian alphabet. And now the Komi language uses the Russian alphabet with some new additional letters. Another interesting thing about the Komi language is its grammar, and especially its case system. Well, if you're familiar with any Finno-Ugric languages, you should know that they have many cases. Well, too many, maybe. And the Komi language is not the exception. It has 17 cases. Can you imagine? 17! In the Russian language, we have 10 cases. In the German, there are 4 cases. And here there are 17! Oh my god, that's a lot of cases. Also, Komi has no gender, and negation is expressed by an auxiliary verb, exactly like in English. But in general, Komi is an agglutinative language, and it has subject-object-verb order. And finally, I just want to say a couple of words about the dialects of the Komi language. So when we talk about the Komi language in general, and when I refer to the Komi language, I actually mean the standard Komi-Zeryan language. But we also have Komi Permic language that is spoken in the other region, and also there is Komi Yazva. But it has many other smaller dialects, because the Komi Republic is quite big, and in smaller villages people speak quite differently. And finally, part number 2, my personal story. An interesting fact that I didn't tell you, but the number of speakers of the Komi language is about 160,000 people, and I'm afraid every year it's less and less. So Komi is a minority language belonging to the Finno-Ugric languages and the Uralic language family. So the main question here is why I decided to learn a minority language from a completely different language family of all the languages I speak or I've ever learned. And the reason is my personal story. And it results that from my mother's side, or better said, from her father's or my grandfather's side, we have Komi-Syrian ancestors. They didn't actually live in the Komi Republic where the language is spoken. They were living in the region called Altaisky Krai in the south of Russia. As I know, some of the Komi people were chased by their religion because they didn't accept the new religion. So to save themselves and to preserve the traditions and religion, some of them moved to other regions, for example to the south of Russia. My grandmother, my mom's mom, she is a teacher of mathematics and she was born in St. Petersburg. She's from St. Petersburg. And when she finished her university studies, she went to have training in this region of Russia. There she met her future husband, she got married and she had two beautiful girls. So that's how it happened. Unfortunately, I have very little information about this side of my family. I only know the nationality, Syrian. I assume they were speaking the language, but I'm not sure, but it's not the point. The point is that as they are my ancestors and it's part of me and they had their own language and I want to show sort of tribute to them by learning this language, just sort of respect to my ancestors. So that's the reason why I want to learn Komi. And actually I've already started learning it and I like it so much. It's very difficult and it's so different from all the languages I know, but I really enjoy studying, so that's my story.
Voin